How's it going, everyone? Andy here from 4K Downtime, back at you with another 4K news update. And since Gamescom is going on at the moment, every news is pretty much resolving about Gamescom, I suppose. So I just wanted to take a minute to talk about some of the recent announcements as well as release dates. We got a crap ton of release dates that came out. Now, the first one I want to talk about is Arena of Valor, which is a game that it seems like a lot of people have completely forgotten about it, and despite that they have finally decided to put out a release date, one of my biggest issue with it is like, it's in September. So despite how close it is, yeah, the shocking thing to me, it's like they still didn't really put the precise date. All we know is in September and then that's it. But what I'm actually concerned about is actually still, because I know for a fact that Nintendo bought the rights to this game, yeah, was purely because they wanted to distribute the Switch in China. So I'm wondering, like, does that mean that the Switch could potentially be launching in China real soon? Because that's part of the main reason why they bought it, because Arena of Valor is very popular amongst the player in China. So I'm just kind of curious, is this a sign that they probably will be launching it soon? But anyway, we don't know yet, so hopefully, like, you know, Nintendo will announce soon that they're probably distributing to China, because I have a feeling that's probably going to be playing a big part in Nintendo trying to reach their 20 million goal by the next fiscal year. Another trailer that we've got is, sadly, no release dates for it yet. It's Daemon X Machina. Now, I'm a sucker for mechs. Like, you know, I'm sure if you guys have seen my reaction for like my thoughts on Nintendo's E3 conference. One of the highlights was Daemon X Machina. Like, to know that it's made by primarily the Armored Core series developers working on it, that in itself just works so much for me. It looks great. This new trailer technically is a mix of the first trailer and some new footage. It's not 100% new, but it looks great nonetheless. I can't wait for this game, and the only thing we know so far, once again, is just 2019. Don't know if it's early, don't know if it's late or mid, but just 2019. Other announcements are Saints Row the 3rd coming to the Switch, and I'm like, okay, why the 3rd? I really don't understand this. I would have thought that maybe it would have been a trilogy of the first 3 games. I felt like that probably would have made a bit more sense, so I'm not too sure why they just particularly picked the 3rd game. I have heard that the 3rd one is often considered the best one in the series, so in that sense, maybe. Still, I kind of felt like if there wasn't the first 2 games, because I have never actually played them, so you guys could tell me in the comment section whether or not this is correct. But doesn't the story ties in from one game to the next? I mean, unless you're telling me, like, you know, that the stories in all of these games are all different, or it's full of different characters, so maybe that doesn't matter. But if it's story driven, at the very least, yeah, you would have thought, okay, jumping into the 3rd game, wouldn't it be awkward for anybody who has never played, like, you know, the first 2? I mean, for example, like me. But anyway, it's I guess it's a decent fill-in because GTA 5 isn't on here yet, so, like, you know, maybe THU Nordic just felt like, you know what, let's just throw this out there and, like, you know, see how it sells, and if it sells well, then maybe we'll bring the other games along. Maybe it's just their way of testing the ground, I don't know, but I would have much preferred something different from them. Darksiders, for example, I would have really loved that. But anyway, the other announcement that I'm actually really excited about, and I have absolutely no idea, this completely caught me off by surprise. Didn't see this come in, but I'm just so happy that it's landing on the Switch. That's Grandia 1 and 2. Now, Grandia 1, I've played it and I really enjoyed it, but it was Grandia 2 that really, like, you know, I was just like, oh my god, this RPG was so amazing back then on Dreamcast. It was one of the... It's so surprising because it's on the Dreamcast of all systems, like, you know, at first. Well, it did eventually go to the PS2. But the thing about Grandia 2 here was just like, when you think of JRPGs, you do not think of the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast barely had any JRPGs, like, you know, some of the ones that I remember was, I think a game called Evolution was one of those, yeah, and it was so subpar, it wasn't even really that good. But when it comes to JRPGs, yeah, there was really only 2. It was Grandia 2, as well as Skies of Arcadia. Both of them were amazing. They could easily stand toe-to-toe with Final Fantasy, even back then. And I was like, kind of thinking to myself, oh wow, like, you know, the Dreamcast doesn't even have that many JRPGs, and the 2 that it did got was some of the best JRPGs I've ever played. So to hear that the 1 and 2 is getting a remaster and it's going to be on the Switch, as well as available on Steam at the moment, I think there's actually no announcements on other platforms. So I was really surprised, like, oh well, gung-ho, you're literally just placing this onto the Switch. You're not even caring about releasing on other systems. So I mean, for me, that's perfectly fine. I will get on the Switch because it's a great game. So guys, if you like JRPGs and you've never actually played them yet, I highly recommend them. Even to this day, yeah, I think you will play it and you will still think it aged remarkably well. But of course, we know we have so much more other news to talk about, like so many other games and release dates. But I'm going to save them for another video. Once I've got this one uploaded, I'm pretty sure there will be more news out coming soon. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about all of these announcements and everything. Like, are you excited for any of these? Are you like, looking forward to get them, or they just simply doesn't appeal to you? But anyway, comment below and let us know. This is Andy from 4K Downtime signing off.